Okay.
Yeah, dude. So like, have you heard about Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch?
Well, I wanted to buy Mortal Kombat 1. I would never consider buying it on the Switch. What's that like?
Well, let me tell you, man, it looks amazing. Like,
Oh, it does?
no, honestly,
You're being honest, huh? Does it look
yeah,
like your avatar here?
yeah, it does. I mean, it actually
Yeah.
looks worse than that. I mean, I saw some pictures of it today, and I'll put some on the screen, and
Okay.
it looks like a PS1 game. Like, I mean, it looks bad. Um, so much so like everybody's talking about it, like IGN, and everybody's posting about how horrible it looks. And
hmm
I looked it up, man. And it's bad. It looks
Does it look
bad.
worse than like a Bethesda guy? Like, what's so bad about it?
You would think that, like, cause Skyrim. Okay, listen, dude. You're talking to a guy who's played Witcher 3 on the Switch and enjoyed it.
So you enjoy pain?
No, it wasn't bad. I actually really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Witcher 3 on the Switch, and
The thing I didn't like.
Mhm.
Well, sorry. The thing I didn't like about what The Witcher 3 on the Switch, because I was one of those suckers too, is it was cool that you had the crossplay between the PC and the Switch. But the problem was you couldn't get any. If you could do the most coolest thing on the Switch version, and then you would log into your PC version, and you wouldn't have any achievements.
Really, they wouldn't
Yeah,
carry over.
right. The achievements did not
Oh,
carry over,
that makes
and I was like,
sense. Makes sense, actually.
I personally don't care about achievements that much, but it was enough to make me be like, all right, well, I guess I'll just play it on this instead.
No, I care about achievements now. I can't play a game, and I don't like playing games without achievements anymore. I
I
think
do
it
like
I think it
them.
super matters.
I would say that it super matters, but I'm just not the type of person to get a platinum. But I like the feeling of some, it's like that gambling, like the lower brain. I like it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not dealing with it on mobile games and like ruining my family's wealth or anything like that. But when it comes to like regular video games, if you can have something pop up and said I'm a good boy, I like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when you aren't expecting it. It just happens.
Oh yeah.
Like, those are the best.
Yeah.
Those are 100%
Yeah.
the best.
When you
So,
kill Madeira and you're like, oh, I'm about to get that achievement. Oh boy, this is gonna be good.
yeah, so 100%, that's one of the problems with the Switch. But at the time, I didn't have a Steam Deck when Witcher 3 came out on the Switch, right? So it was the
Mhm.
closest thing to something. I mean, we had Skyrim already, which also doesn't look as bad as Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch. Isn't that
And I think
crazy?
it lends itself well to the Switch. But the Mortal Kombat is a game that comes out in 2023, and I think that even like the assets that I'm talking out of my ass. I'm going to start right now talking out of my ass. So I think like
Preach.
the base textures that they have in 2023 are probably more crazier than what would the whole Skyrim be, because that game's got to be like 8 to 12 gigs or something like that. It's probably not a very big game. Versus the kind of textures that they're putting out in something like Mortal Kombat, I bet it was pretty tough for them to put it on a Switch.
Then why? Why put it on the Switch at that point?
Mm.
Right? Like, why even go to all that trouble? That's what I don't understand.
I'll tell
But
you.
maybe there are enough people that are getting fooled to buying it on the
Uh,
Switch.
okay, well,
But
I don't know if that was rhetorical, but if it wasn't, then the reason why is because of the installation base of the Nintendo Switch. We're talking like
yeah,
they're going crazy. So everybody has a Nintendo Switch. People who don't love video games have a Nintendo Switch. So
yeah,
the just selling a game, like the fact that it runs at all is enough. And how many times as a new Switch owner, because I was a previous Switch enjoyer, uh, wh- as a new Switch owner, you're like, oh man, I wish I could play that on the Switch, right? Before the Steam Deck came
yes,
out.
yeah,
But you're just like, I really wish I could play that fucking game on the Switch, because I love playing things on the Switch because it felt so good to
yeah.
like have any good game on the Switch. It just is a nicely shaped console. It's light. It's so light. That it's like it's crazy when a game does run there because you're like, dude, I'm literally playing Diablo 3 on this fucking light piece of shit plastic fucking Chinese.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know,
and it
I
felt
think
great.
you're probably right. There is a very large install base for the Switch, and it's probably like a lot of people are not as nerdy as us and don't care as much about, you know, they're not on like IGN or like looking up all these YouTube videos, so they just see Mortal Kombat came out with the new game and they're gonna buy it, you know.
Well, okay. Well, all right. So I've seen the image here. I have a computer in front of me. It's very funny, but does the game run in a smooth FPS? Because if that game,
actually don't know. I actually don't know.
dude, on that fucking console, if that game runs at 25 FPS, I could see why people would be like, yeah, I want the latest Mortal Kombat and it runs slightly shitty. 100%.
But isn't that crazy that the game looks so different? It's basically a different game. I mean, we're talking about like so different, dude. It's
I think as long as the
crazy.
mechanics are the same, like if they could get that game to run good, it would be amazing. Like just imagine, pretend either of us are good at video games. All right, so
I would
you're going to
pretend
the
very hard.
Evo tournament. Yeah, we're both trash at video games, but let's say you're about to go into an Evo tournament or whatever, and you play MK9 on the PS5. How beneficial is it for you on the ride there to be able to play that shit, regardless of how dog shit it looks, if the mechanics were good, right?
I want to go to Evo, and they're like, guys, oh, the PS5 stopped working. We're gonna have to do the tournament on the Switch version.
Oh my God. That would be so good, dude.
Just hit everybody with the like, we're playing on the Switch version. And the one guy who's been practicing the whole season with the Switch is just like, let's go. He's like, my time to shine, dude. And I want the guy to be Air Buddy. You know, I want it to be like an Air Buddy movie. Be Air Buddy that's like been playing Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch.
Air Bud, yes. Golden Retriever.
Yes.
Because that's what I think of you Nintendo Switch fans. But yeah.
Bro, perfect movie. Somebody get me on it. I'll do it. Write it up right now.
No, Air Bud is trash and Nintendo Switch is trash. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. Oh, well, I agree with one of those statements, and I don't like the Switch anymore. So,
hey, man, you can't just go set hopping because you got a Steam Deck, man.
Dude, I can't. Okay, so honestly, it's my biggest problem, and oh my God, this is gonna be crazy for me to say it. So, when Breath of the Wild came out, I was this. Because we had many arguments about it. How I thought Breath of the Wild deserved a 10 out of 10. That it was like the best game ever. You know?
How fucking dare you? You shitting on so many developers with that horrible take.
But, you know, I still enjoy the game. But I don't... Now it's been, what, like 7-8 years? And they even came out the sequel. You know? Tears of the Kingdom came out. Dude, I'm not going to lie. And this might blow your mind, bro. I have not beat Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay, that is very surprising.
I have not completed that game. And I don't know if it's just me getting older. I'm about to be 30, and I just felt like it was too much. I genuinely felt like it was just way too much content.
Yeah.
And I absolutely hate going through a game and feeling like I'm in an area and I'm going to miss stuff like in that area because it's just so much stuff too. You know, like and at least with Baldur's Gate, I get like markers to kind of give me an idea of like what's in the map so I can miss less stuff. I know I'm still missing stuff, but at least I feel like I'm getting the important things. Right?
Yeah.
But and so I get it. It's probably the same thing. People are gonna listen to this like, dude, you're gonna miss as much stuff in Baldur's Gate than you do in Tears of the Kingdom. It doesn't matter. The point is that Tears of the Kingdom hides everything. And they like try to hide the story stuff and make it really difficult to get like, you know, everything. Where Baldur's Gate's more of like, you know what, do whatever you want. Here's like the main mission areas. Maybe you stop by and see somebody on the way. Maybe you don't, and you never know. And it doesn't matter, you know. So.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I agree. There's definitely things where I may have missed something in Baldur's Gate 3, but I wasn't really tripping. I clicked Alt, I picked what I wanted, and I moved
Right.
on, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. It is a great game, and I think the mechanics that they have in that game,
Mm,
with the new mechanics they put in, like being able to
mm,
go up, up ceilings and stuff, and pop like
yeah.
go down from one cave and pop up from the top of the mountain, like that's crazy. And developers were even talking about how they didn't understand how that worked. Like they don't understand how they even did something like that. And then on top of that, they did it on a freaking Switch. You know?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the type of thing that impresses a Nintendo fan. I want you guys to
Right.
take a close look. This, he said, you went down and then you popped up.
Yeah. No. But you went you I mean, I'm saying any like you're like so if there's a ceiling above you,
Uh-huh.
anywhere you're at in the game,
Mm.
you can look up on the ceiling and use this ability. I don't know what it's called right now. I can't think of it, but you would go up and you would end up on the other side, like the very top of wherever that ceiling would lead, right? So if you're like in a cave and you go look up and you use that ability, you'll dive upwards, right? And swim up the cave and end up on top of whatever surface is above that portion of the cave. So maybe it's a mountain, maybe it's a house,
Uh,
whatever. That's crazy that they did
Man,
that
game
on
of
the
the year.
Switch. Yeah,
Game
okay.
of
All
the
right.
year, guys. Game
Okay.
of the year.
It is a good game though. But it's just way too much. It's way too much. And it's crazy to say that because this is the same year that happened, that Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I'm saying it's too much. It's the same year that I beat I platinumed Elden Ring, and
Jeez.
I'm like playing through Baldur's Gate. I have like 40 hours in. But they both just, maybe because they weren't on Switch, I don't know. They just both feel like less of a chore to play with or play through.
Okay. Well, it's definitely less of a chore to play through. Let's talk about Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3, what a game. I swore I would never play a game like that again where you're just like going through
Dude.
options of what you're gonna say and then I even didn't
Oh,
want to
you're
play like
right.
yeah, I didn't
Dude,
ever want to
yeah.
play that again.
Oh
You
my
know?
god, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, I was talking to you about it. I forgot who I was talking about, but we were talking about Mass
Hmm.
Effect, and I'm like, I can never play
Hmm.
Mass Effect. I'll never
Yeah.
sit there and deal with those conversations and talk to all those
Sheesh.
people. But here I am in Baldur's Gate, and I talk to everybody. I go
Yeah.
to every single person in the town, and I
Yep.
talk to every single one of them. And when they give me a dialogue option, I get excited. I get giddy. I'm like, ooh, what are they gonna ask me about? You know, like,
Yeah.
and and I don't feel like that about, like, I haven't felt like that about a game in a very very long time, and that's kind of crazy you mentioned that because it's exactly what I was also thinking. Like, I'm never gonna play a game just for
Yeah.
its
I
story.
had like a game like Persona 5. I
Uh,
couldn't.
uh,
I just couldn't. I can't sit there
man.
and do all that dialogue. I need
Uh,
gameplay. Like I'm a Dark Souls fan now.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah, that makes
Baldur's
sense.
Gate, but Baldur's Gate, it 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 has amazing combat. Like
Yeah.
so good. You really can skip through any of that stuff, but you don't really want to because like as especially even us as people who haven't played D&D before, it's just the world is so fucking awesome.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
characters.
And one thing I do love about Baldur's Gate is that I genuinely feel like I can overcome any combat scenario, right? Like if I'm in combat and
Yeah.
if I like, let's say I go to this combat and I die, and I go back to it, I try it again. I always see another way. Like maybe I could do this different move. Maybe I do this, or maybe I get like a lucky roll somewhere, right? Or some good misses. I genuinely feel like I can
Yeah.
overcome any combat scenario that I've been in.
Yeah.
You know,
The
because
the problem with that is that I spent whole days on one combat scenario for no reason.
oh
I just quick saved and I kept
yeah,
loading the thing up nonstop. And it's like, okay, well, I can just go back and get stronger and come beat these guys up. And guess what happened? When I got
what?
back,
Yeah.
They were dead. I don't know why.
Oh
I
my
have
god,
no idea why.
dude!
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. I went back after I got stronger, and it was just like, "Would you like to loot this legendary item?" Yes, I guess
Oh
I
my
would.
god, dude! You know that's one of those things about Baldur's Gate that you never like know how stuff's gonna play out. Like when I was in the Goblin camp, I think I killed like the Tiefling guy, the what was it? The True Soul Tiefling dude or the Devil guy. I killed him in the Goblin camp, and I'm over here like, oh, I still got to talk to this girl. I still got to talk to the Witch Doctor lady. And then after that, everybody was just aggro, and I was like, oh, okay. Like you all are just gonna want to fight now, you know? and that's the kind of stuff that's like, and you know, another thing.
That's crazy. Hold on, when you went into the Goblin camp, you didn't have no idea that like on the other end, when you decide to leave that bitch, you're gonna have to fight every single person on the way.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I killed everybody in the Goblin camp, and then I went outside, and then everybody was like, "Oh, get him!" I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna load back. I'm not fighting everybody out here." So I just fast traveled out, and I've not gone back and killed all those goblins that are waiting in front of the camp. and I just told everybody, oh yeah, I killed all the goblins. They're all dead. There's not one left. there's still like 30 goblins in front of the goblin camp, dude.
Yeah, they're wiped out. You guys don't gotta worry at all.
I don't know how Hausen got out of there. That's all I know. I know how I got out of there. I fast traveled. I mean, he must have just been like, oh, don't mind me. But I will say, I did go through something with Baldur's Gate 3 recently that I was kind of like confused about. It was like I went to was it like Gethraki or what are they called? The Lyzel's people? Githyanki. So I went to their camp area, right? Where they're chilling in Act 1. And pretty much they, got upset that I had the tadpole in my mind, and they all went aggro, and I ended up killing everybody.
Spoilers?
Oh, you didn't do that? Yes. Oh, 100%. 100%. Yes, you are correct. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. We are new at this, and I did not remember to say
from here on out, it's spoilers territory.
Yeah. Spoilers. So I murdered everybody in that camp, and Lae'zel said nothing to me. She was mad about fighting them at first, but then after we murdered everybody and she helped me, I would talk to her and she would just say, "Speak." And I'm like, dude, you don't got nothing to say about it? I killed all your homies. I was a little disappointed about that. So I don't know if like my game bugged or like if she didn't, like, I don't know what happened, but I was a little disappointed.
I think she just really likes you, man.
No, she's mad at me. We made love, and she was apparently very aggressive to my character, and I was like, nah, I'm not down anymore. Like she was like, my character woke up and the narrator's like, you're in pain, places that you've never thought would hurt. And I was like, not really what I'm looking for. Where's Shadowheart at? But. Yeah. That says a lot about Karlach, because if I woke up in pain after Karlach, I would be okay with it 100%.
Yeah, Karlach is the one, man. And like I said, man, what me and Karlach had was bigger than physical. We didn't get physical. We just, we were there for each other when it counted.
I'm sorry to hear that. Spoilers again. I think you let the guy with the engine die. Right? The guy that could fix her engine. Did you let him die?
Bro, I never even got to that point, but I still got a good ending with Karlach to where she didn't die.
You didn't find the guy who could fix her heart engine?
No, I was busy, dog. But I'll tell you what.
I found him.
Me and Karlach still rode off to Valhalla together, dog.
You know what? He probably doesn't fix it if that's the case. Because I found him. I found
No,
him.
you can fix it. I think you can
Really?
fix it.
Oh,
Yeah, I think she
found
turns
that.
blue when you fix it too.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, because I found him. I found the gentleman, and he's saying he could fix it if I bring him back some things. So I'm looking for them, because
You should
I want
talk
to do
the
that.
gentleman.
I have been talking to him. Yeah, I've definitely been talking to him. He sent me on a fetch quest, so I'm waiting there.
Okay.
But hey, quick question, and this is a good question, I think. All right,
All right.
Baldur's Gate 3 on the Switch. Is it possible? You buying that?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
I think so too. Divinity is on the Switch.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Divinity's on the Switch. Yeah, Divinity's on the Switch. I bet you it plays not good because Baldur's Gate 3 barely plays on the Steam Deck.
On the Steam Deck, right? And I guarantee you, basically, when you go to like any area where there's like a flame crackling, on the Divinity Original Sin on the Switch, I'll bet you your shit just drops to 1 frame per second.
That's what the fire sounds like.
Yeah.
It's just like fucking 10 frames per second.
Yeah, exactly. They probably have no open flames in that shit.
Yeah. Dude, but you know, Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't look too bad on Steam Deck. It's when you dock the deck that you're like,
ooh,
whoa, dude, this looks bad. Because I've been playing mostly on my PS5, and it looks pretty decent. It looks good on PS5. I wouldn't say it looks better than PC.
I played it on PS5.
It looks good on PS5.
It looks. I like it the way it looks a lot on my PC, but on
yeah,
which is not even very good PC. But the PS5 version is good. But I feel like somehow, like my PC version, even though it's like a super old PC, it's like shinier.
No,
like,
I can see
how to
that.
explain it.
Yeah. My biggest problem with playing on PS5 is playing with remote. Yeah, it's the only thing because you could tell the menus just like would be so much easier to navigate with a freaking mouse, dude. 100%. It's a chore. It is a chore. It's the only negative that I would say, but there's nothing you could really do about it. I played it on my Steam Deck because you know I have the dock, so I connected my piece or my keyboard and mouse, and I'll tell you, I messed around with that menu for a few seconds on keyboard and mouse, and it immediately felt better. In fact, you could see all your characters at once and mess with them and change stuff like that. It's so easy. I mean, dude, I'm talking about like if I'm sending a great potion to Karlach, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 button presses to send a potion.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that was like when Dustin or my friend Dustin got my other friend to play Path of Exile, and it's like, dude, why? He's on PS5. Like, dude, it would take so many button presses to do something that was super simple. Like something that would like be as simple as a drag and drop on PC is just like incredible amount of menus.
Yeah, that's kind of what Baldur's Gate feels like.
Do that.
It's
but certain games like when you play a game like Uncharted or Mortal Kombat or Madden or there's like a lot of games where I prefer a controller.
Witcher 3 was one of those I like to play with the controller in the
me too.
In the outside, but I remember when I had my PC at the time when I was like in the menus, I just started using the keyboard and mouse. That was like the way I saw Witcher working,
Yeah, it works good like that when you have a PC, and so you can use the controller. But when you feel like looking around at stuff in menus, you can go ahead and use the mouse. Yeah, that's nice.
Speaking of Witcher, because now we're on that topic now, because I'm gonna transition. Cyberpunk 2077 just came out with the update. Just came out with the update today. DLC.
I think it looks good. I just don't want to play through the whole game if that's what it takes to do it. I don't think I beat it yet.
I did beat it, but I am not buying that DLC. Absolutely not. Idris what's his name? Idris Elba. Idris Elba. he's in there, and that's pretty cool. I do think that's cool, but yeah, it's kind of like that's not gonna make me go and play. I don't know what they're thinking, man. Like they think that because they hire this actor that I'm gonna watch or I'm gonna play a game. Yeah, they really do. Just like they put Megan Fox in Mortal Kombat 1, and now I'm supposed to buy it. Like, are you guys crazy? Like, dude, like I've seen her gameplay on Switch. I'm not getting this game.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, dude.
I really want to play Mortal Kombat 1, but what were you saying, Barry, before that?
Cyberpunk.
Oh
The
man,
DLC. Yeah.
that game is just like what we were talking about before. It's just too much. I'm talking to this dude now, and I've been standing here going through these fucking menus saying, "Oh, really?" And he's like, "Yeah, actually." And then you're like, "You're like, I can do that for you." Okay, it's right there over there. Like, dude,
We'll get you. Put this thing in your ear so I can track you and call you when it's necessary to progress the story.
Yeah, I'm gonna backseat drive the whole mission. I'm gonna listen to everything and see everything, and I basically should have went instead of you. Fucking stupid.
Yeah, it definitely. Man, I was so hyped for that game. I'm really
Me
sad
too,
how
man.
it came out.
And I'm not trying to be negative about that game. I think it's a good game. I think like even when it came out, it was a really decent game, and people were being over dramatic.
No, I played it on console. I bought it on PS5, dude, and I mean we're talking about crashes at least once an hour.
Oh man!
And, no, I'm serious, dude. I'm talking about hours and hours of lost content for me because it just crashing, like.
Yeah.
Or lost gameplay, and it sucked because you're playing and you have that fear in the back of your mind that like, dude, it might just crash right now. You know what I mean? Like it could just crash right now. It could just crash right now, dude. So
I felt that too. I felt that too. But I just think the gameplay's decent. Like they're doing basically what like a Skyrim Fallout would do, but like more. I can't ever say more polished in the way that it came out, but still, like, it seems like a little bit more like they went harder,
They definitely tried, and I mean, it's okay. I unfortunately, I'm kind of in the same boat as you are now. And, I used to be a real big FPS fan, and now I'm just kind of over it. I'm kind of just over the shooties and the I want more.
Depends.
Yeah.
It depends what game
I guess because you know what? Grand Theft Auto 6, I want to shooties in that game.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
You ever hear about that? I think it's called Pixel FPS or some shit like that. Pixel shooter, something like that. There's like this game that got really popular on Steam, and it's like basically like you're playing like Modern Warfare, but it's all pixelated and shit. It's like an indie game, and that looks awesome. It looks fucking amazing.
I did see a game a couple weeks ago. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a toy. It's like a kind of like a toy game. Like you're like a toy that gets out of his box. It's like an FPS. Kind of looks like a Team Fortress style gameplay. You just like these toys are shooting each other up. That sounds cool too.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
All right. So how about the Liza P? How about the Liza P? Dog?
Okay, the Liza P. I mean, dude, it looks like Bloodborne 2. And I would love to play that. But I am determined to finish Baldur's Gate, dude. I am a busy person, and I get maybe 1 hour, 2 hours of Baldur's Gate in like when I can. It's the weekends I do go a little harder, but during the week I got like an hour or two a day max. So I'm really trying to beat that before I buy another game. But Liza P is the next game I plan to buy. Looks awesome.
Me too. I don't know if I'm gonna get it until it goes on sale, but still. It looks really good.
It looks great, man. And if Sony and FromSoft are not bringing us Bloodborne 2, this is the best that we're gonna get. Then you know what? I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna.
Would you rather have Bloodborne 2 or Dark Souls 4?
Bloodborne 2. I think that's pretty. Wow. I think most people would say they would want Bloodborne 2 over Dark Souls 4. I feel like Elden Ring is similar enough to Dark Souls that we kind of already have kind of like a Dark Souls 4. So where's the Bloodborne? Imagine open world Bloodborne. Dude, imagine.
Did you say open world?
Open world Bloodborne. I would play that. I would
That
look
sounds
through it.
terrible. Why would it need to be open world? Why would it
I'm
need to
just
be open
thinking like
world?
something like Elden Ring. Elden
I
Ring
don't like
Bloodborne.
that.
You know?
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I want them to. I mean, that's how I feel personally. I don't. I would prefer that they make it like on the scale of Bloodborne, but it's Bloodborne 2. Like, please don't
I
make
see.
every
Yeah.
good game an open world game. Please.
I would love
Just
that
like,
too.
imagine if they still made regular Zelda games.
Ah, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
That. I was thinking about
And
that.
and the reason they won't do that is because people get excited over open world, and it's just basically what it tells me is I'm going to waste your time.
Yeah. Ooh, you're right. Yeah, I really do want the next Zelda game to not be open world. I want it to just be like.
And I feel the same way about something like Bloodborne for sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'll be happy with anything. Even a remake, or let's get the Blue Point update of Bloodborne, right? Like, I'm happy with that too. Blue Point made that did Demon Souls. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do that for Bloodborne. I'm okay with that too. Like, I'll be happy with that. 60 FPS, looks gorgeous. Like, I don't. Yeah, you're like, I don't even need anything crazy. And Liza P definitely doesn't look as good or as fluent as Bloodborne, but I'm glad to see that there are things out there that are obviously inspired by Bloodborne, by Soul, or like Dark Souls and stuff. And making a name for themselves, because most Soulsborne games suck, like, that are not Dark Souls or Elden Ring.
Yeah, and that's what basically I think the IGN guy, I think they came out with a preview or something recently before the game launched, and that's what they were saying was with their time with it was like, well, it's really, they're trying to be close to what Dark Souls is, like, not even just in the way that the gameplay is with the Souls-like genre, but even the way that they deliver lore and stuff like that. They're trying to be a little bit more like a Dark Souls game, and the darkness of it obviously too and stuff.
Are they talking about like items have like lore descriptions in them and stuff like that?
I wasn't listening that close, but it seemed like he was saying basically that this game is true to the Dark Souls formula in a way that other games aren't.
Yeah, I mean, it looks awesome, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to get that game. I'm trying to play that game after I'm done adventuring with my virtual wife, Karlak. That's priority, right, for me.
If you really love Karlak, your loins wouldn't be hurting from whatever happened with Lae'zel, man.
Dude, no, I didn't meet Karlak at that point. I hadn't met Karlak. I didn't know. I swear to God, I did not meet Karlak yet. I did not know Karlak was an adventurer that could be joining me. So, and I read on Reddit today. Do you
think that's gonna work on her when you tell her that? Do you think that's gonna work on her?
Absolutely. We're best friends. I'm like, dude, I didn't even know you. She'd be like, that's crazy. You're like, shit, you got me there. Like, we just have a good time. We really. She has such a good personality. Like, she's totally fine with it. But I read on.
Like you guys are perfect for each other. No, go ahead.
We are, yeah. No, I read on Reddit like this guy like Will. So this guy put on Reddit that he went to, like the work where Will helps you kill the goblins in front of the gate, right? Like, when you meet Will, and that his Will died like in combat. Like there's like a goblin in front of Will, and Will missed like a critical miss, a few attacks, and next you know that goblin like murdered Will. So he was like, oh, whatever, I don't really care. I'll just play the game without Will. And
I think that's a great thing. I noticed that Will could die.
But he missed Karlak because there was no Will.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like he couldn't get Karlak because because Will died.
Dude, that's crazy because...
So he played the game without Will or Karlak because they just died. or Will died. Does this guy
not know about quick saves or what?
I guess not. Well, because, like, seriously, I don't know. Or that's something that you don't even realize, right? Like, like there's so many variables like that, and like so many consequences for your actions in Baldur's Gate that you might not even realize that that you're like fucking something up, like something irreversible. You're just like, oh, just do. Which maybe we need to look into playing Dungeons and Dragons because that sounds awesome. I want to do that.
Me too.
You know, I do love playing Magic, but Dungeons and Dragons sounds awesome.
I would be so down. The thing about like what you're talking about is a new player could just come into the game and not have any idea that they just killed off 2 main characters.
Exactly.
Just by not caring in that battle, you know. That's crazy.
And at first, when I started playing, it was a little anxiety ridden. You know, I was a little like, "Oh God, I don't want to mess anything up." But now at this point, I'm kind of just vibing, and I'm just like, I'm going through it. Like, I'm just like, dude, if I really care, I can just play this game over again. I'm not gonna be worried. Like, I'm just gonna go through, and what happens, happens. You know,
dude, it's so sick that it has co-op.
Yeah, we need to try that out. I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know how, if I can just like get co-op or you have to make a new profile or have like a specific co-op profile. Is that how that works?
Yeah, you can have as many games as you want saved. Right. Like, for example, like you could have game 1 and game 2, and game 2 could be the one that you have in co-op, and you only really mess with that one.
But what I'm saying, can I bring my main character to your main character's account and play co-op, or we have to start a co-op file?
We will start a co-op file. Okay. But what you could do if you wanted someone to play with you on your main character, they could jump into your game and take over one of the characters that you already have, or they can make their own custom character and join the game that you're already playing. But you have to realize, like, you'll have to play with that character when they get off.
I have a great fucking idea. Like, it's an amazing idea. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
We do our Baldur's Gate 3 profile together when it comes out on Switch. No. Comes out on Switch where they're day 1, and we're using the Switch Online. We're using Switch Online. And then we download, and we don't get on Discord, we download the Switch app that they make you use the chat, and we experience the Switch and all of its online glory. And we're playing this game, we're playing Baldur's Gate 3 on like 10 FPS. We're using our phones to talk, but not through phone, through the Switch app.
Yeah, why don't we do that? That
sounds
a good
awesome,
idea.
Right? That sounds awesome. That sounds fucking awesome. And that's where we're gonna cut it off right there. You have agreed to play Baldur's Gate 3 with me on release for the Switch. At that point, we are going to have thousands and thousands of listeners, and everybody's going to force you to play with me, and we will stream it and have a great fucking time.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
My name is Matt. This has been the 30-Minute Podcast.
Yeah, and my name is Ruben, and we love you so much. Have a great day.
Peace.